just want to shit. Like,
You got it, Jay. You got this.
I'm fucking not high.
There's a bathroom right there.
I like the order of this because my piece was long as fuck and Eli's was not. So, you know, if you fall asleep, it's totally okay. Oh, also, context behind my piece. This was my public narrative for one of my classes. And then in the last month, I added 4 more pages to it. So yeah. And in Google Docs, stop being a fucking asshole. Okay. The name of my piece is When Nows Won't Be Then. In the midst of me finding out all of my identities, I noticed that no matter my conflictions, that I cannot live or push back one for the comfortability of others who cannot deal with the other. When people portray to me that my blackness is too much for them to digest, it makes me wonder that why is this not the same for them when they appropriate my culture, when tongues flicker between their contradicting trees, as they scream nigga like an invite to a racial competition that I and my people will never win. And I remember realizing that my blackness was different way back when it stands that I'm too black for the white kids and I'm too white for the blacks, and I have to face the facts that in this America, they have no room for the parts of me that matter. Worth determined by a system of tyranny to my identities. I used to run around praying that labels gave me purpose, drowning in the constant need to assimilate for acceptance rather than fight for equity. But I can't tell if I was breathing or sleeping or screaming or waiting for the world to come and run and spare me. But in these days of fight for the right to just breathe, to realize that I wouldn't even be where I live if gentrification didn't fuck up my neighborhood, if corner stores didn't turn into banks and real estate's office, if schools spending the most important part of their time taking up my space, asking me if I needed extra assistance when I had the highest GPA in my class, and providing me with resources with actual food instead of force feeding me that your mom makes too much money. If I had somewhere to go, someplace that I could clearly call my own, I wouldn't stick around in the world that we live in, where my existence is constantly invalidated with the last breath that every black man has taken before their deaths, and the women that are screaming on the streets and playing why and praying for better. So now we're at the part where you ask me about my future. And if I look into my crystal ball, will it be clouded with my demise? Well, I could give you this really rad metaphor about my expectations, but in a domain like mine, I have learned to presume silence. That every sound that crawls through my deaf lenses is a sound for a new fucking revolution. And I finally understand that my existence is resistance. Every word of protest that I speak can reign supreme. Whether one voice of a million of my people, I fight for the tired and distressed black women who are survivors, for the black kids who were told that they weren't better than the whites, for the deaf kids that were told that the sound of their futures don't exist, for the queer kids who were told that they were meant nothing in God's eyes. In the days when my knees buckle under the weight of my words, I can breathlessly say to those who want to give up, I think the fight will never be over. When they ask me why I haven't given up, why I haven't gotten tired enough to back away, I look at them and say, I don't know about you, but I refuse to die. I'm here to survive. But I'd be lying to you if I said if I never tried. I'd be lying if I tried to mask a story of me with 125 ibuprofen pills in my mouth just last night, because even when in my strongest days, I could reach my breaking point, and I can honestly tell you, standing here right now, that I am so broken. I have been running away for 2 months straight. There have been days where I didn't know where I was, what day it was, who I was talking to, disassociative and lost, and in the days when I'm in my fog, and I don't know what decision to make next, I stand there and I ask myself, why are you living? Because in the days where we are erased, when we have to ask ourselves, what are the things that give us worth? Because no one can tell you how much you mean in this world. There are only those who contribute to your being. So when I wake up in the morning and I wait for the sounds of my roommate's feet on the cold wood floor, I know if I hear the sound of her soul moving through the plains of this house, that I can muster enough courage to move through the hard days and the cold nights, because I know that she's tired too. I can tell that she needs to get away from this world because she's never home, whatever home means for her. So I work and I work to try to make sure that I can give her a world where everything's fine, because she deserves the world. I need her to know how much she's changed me. I need her to know that she saved my life, the mermaid that came into my ocean and saved me from drowning. And I no longer get stung by jellyfish, caught in a fishing net of destruction, because with her in my life I can swim free, and I never ever have to, I just want to say thank you enough to my Savior from the water. And in my darkest days, when I lay and stare into the darkness, sometimes the smallest sound can call out into the void. like the sudden roar of tires hitting the rocks at 300 miles per hour with the sound of Badu's The Healing blaring through the open truck windows. And I know that in the next 25 minutes I'm gonna be high as fuck. And we're gonna be talking about how much we hate stupid people trying to steal our spaces, and talking about how many people really don't want us to be here on this earth. But if I needed them for them to know anything, if tomorrow was the last day I took my last breath, I would ask them if they knew how much I needed them, and how much strength that they give me, and how much that their being makes me realize how much I have to exist in this world, if they know how much I value their work. The way they strap their boots on and breathlessly say, no really, I can murder people in these. I hope I walk 1,000 miles more in resistance with you and make all those fuckers realize that we really are way worse than karma. And when my twin sister took her life almost 10 years ago, I thought that I would walk in this world alone, because when you have your other half leave you, you walk open an open soul with a constant chill. When my soul finally found a blanket, and I know my sister is looking down proud that there is someone just as rad as her, looking out for me, teaching me what my identities mean, teaching me that I was not meant to walk in this world empty. So to the girl who matches me in my mode of transportation, standing out in the crowd with her flair and her protective hairstyles, to the girl that can play any note that she hears in the wind, making sure that I will never hear the sound of my thoughts in everlasting silence. Thank you for teaching me that my blackness should be unapologetic, that we are the forces that will never be removed from the world that our ancestors created, and I don't want to walk on this earth another day without you, thinking that I am not worthy of love, or that you're not worthy of love, thinking about being blind in this world is that people become incapable of seeing good souls, and yours is more than just bright. You have shined the light on people worthy and not, and I promise you that I will never take that for granted, and I will never be extra. And in these days, I know that I'm worthy of love, because when I look into her eyes, I see a future that is ever so bright. And when she looks at me in my roughest of times, with hair all over my head, and I don't know how many days of morning breath that I've really had. The way her pupils enlarge tell me that she is caught in my love, and I'm fucking telling you that I don't ever want to go back. I don't know what it's going to mean to not have your touch. I don't want to ever know what it's like to walk around this earth and feel the love. I want her to hold me every time that I cry, even in the simplest of times. And I want to unapologetically have loud sex so that the neighbors know both of our names. And I want the street to know that there is nothing but love that's gay as fuck. And I want to continually visualize our future together, about her touch feeling the same way that it does until I take my last breath. And I want to know the world to know how you love me. Because love is hard to find in the toughest of our times, but I walk with a group of people who have never let me fall. And although I've done most of my love in anonymity, to the queer activist collective, you are the reason why I breathe, because I breathe with you. And everyone should know that our existence is resistance. No one will ever fucking tell us that we aren't shit, because they don't know how much we fought, how much tears we shared together, how many nights we held each other up, how many nights we partied to celebrate our survival, and the next mornings of what year is it and where is my pants? But I will tell you this, I don't have any other family but you. I have never belonged anywhere else. So fucking AU, what they've been trying to do to us, they will never know what we've been through. They will never know our heart. We exist, we stand, and we love together. And I know that I have panic attacks 30 times a day, but thank you for never leaving me behind, never saying I didn't fit, never saying I wasn't welcome, thank you for the days you fed me when I was hungry, housed me in my life and my emotions. I owe you everything. And the only thing I owe everyone in this room is a promise that I will never stop fighting. The promise I will never put those pills back in my mouth again. I promise to hold my middle finger up high to the people who can't digest me, and to genuinely and truly survive. Thank you.